Hello students, this is Miss Dalton, and today's video is on an introduction to piecewise functions. So the definition of a piecewise function is that it is a function defined by two or more functions over a specified domain. So we're going to be looking at several of the functions that we've covered this year pieced together, and that's what a piecewise function is. So this is what it's going to look like. F of x equals x squared plus 1 when x is less than 0, and x minus 1 when x is greater than or equal to 0. And you can evaluate a piecewise function. You can also graph a piecewise function. So we're going to be looking at both of those features today. To evaluate a piecewise function, you're just going to evaluate functions like you have been doing all year. So let's look at calculating f of 2. So if we take that previous piecewise function that we had on the previous screen, we're being asked to find when y is equal, what y is equal to when x is equal to 2. Well, if you look at those restrictions on the end there, since 2 is greater than or equal to 0, then you will only substitute it into the second part of the function. So you're going to put a 2 in for x right there. When you do that, 2 minus 1 is equal to 1, so therefore f of 2 is equal to 1. Let's calculate f of negative 2. So because we're being asked to find y when x is equal to negative 2, if you look at those restrictions at the end, negative 2 is less than 0, and so we're only going to plug in negative 2 into this function. So make sure that you put a parenthesis around the negative 2 if you're using your calculator. So you want to put parentheses negative 2, then square it, plus 1. Well, negative 2 squared is 4, and 4 plus 1 is 5, so therefore f of negative 2 is equal to 5. All right, your turn. We're going to change up some functions. So we're going to use these functions right here. F of x is equal to 2x plus 1 when x is less than 0. F of x is equal to 2x plus 2 when x is greater than or equal to 0. So you're going to find f of negative 2. You're going to find f of 5. You're going to find f of 0, and you're going to find f of 1. So go ahead and take a minute, pause the video, and go ahead and find those values. Okay, let's try another one, and we will check those when you come to class to make sure that you've got those values right. So here's another function. We've got f of x is equal to 3x minus 2 when x is less than negative 2. We have f of x equals negative x when x is between negative 2 and 1, and x squared minus 7x when x is greater than or equal to 1. So we're going to evaluate f of negative 2. So I want you to think about where would that fall. Look at those restrictions and find out which function you would use for that. If you chose the second function, you are correct because look, we've got x is between negative 2 and 1, but do you see the line under that less than? So that means when x is exactly negative 2, we're going to follow that second function. So you would plug it in for x, negative 2, so you'd have a negative negative 2, so you should get the answer of positive 2. Let's try another one, f of 3. So think about which function you would plug that into. Okay, if you chose the third function, you're correct because x, your 3, is greater than or equal to 1. So you want to plug it into that third function. 3 squared is 9 minus 7 times 3. So that'd be 9 minus 21, which is negative 12. Okay, let's try another one. F of negative 4. So think about where that would get plugged in. If you chose the top equation, you are correct because x, being negative 4, is less than negative 2. So 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Negative 12 minus 2 is negative 14. Let's try one more. Okay, hopefully you chose the bottom equation to plug it into because it's when x is greater than or equal to 1. Since x is equal to 1, we want to plug it into that third one. 1 squared is 1, minus 7 times 1 is negative 7, so 1 minus 7 would be negative 6. So that's what you would get for that last one. All right, let's go over just some basic characteristics because you are going to have to identify increasing, decreasing of these graphs. And so let's kind of refresh your memory. A function is considered to be increasing if the y values are increasing as the x values increase. So think about a roller coaster. You would be going up the hill on the increasing section. Decreasing is when the y values are decreasing as the x values increase. That would be the part of the roller coaster when you're going down the hill. So in the graph, you should see the graph going down. We also are going to talk about continuous and discontinuous. Continuous is if there are no breaks in the function. In other words, you could draw it without picking up your pencil. So if you don't see any breaks in your function in your graph, then that's continuous. If you do see breaks, then that would be discontinuous, meaning you would have to pick up your pencil to draw another section of it. And so remember what these 4 keywords mean because we are going to use those on your assignment. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. I can answer them during class.